It is my mom's birthday, so we're gonna go make her a cake. But my grandpa's here and he like had a really bad like fall the other day, the other night, something like that. So I'm not gonna have him mute his TV. I'll just have him, he needs the rest, so we're just gonna do a voiceover, but we're making a cake. So this was actually the first time I've ever made a cake, like ever, and decorating it and like just doing everything. I wanted to do it like all by myself. I didn't want any help, so mom had no clue that I was doing this. I had the idea when I was sitting in bed. I'd like woken up, I was eating my breakfast, and I was like, huh, I should make mom a cake. Because it's her birthday, and I can't remember if she got a cake last year or not. And I wanted to make one for her. You know, all the years, she's always made me a special cake. She's made so many cakes for me. Always going, you know, all the way with my cakes. Maybe I can find some pictures and post them, like, on the screen. She's always gone above and beyond for all my birthday parties. So I was like, you know what? Let's make her a cake. She needs one. She deserves one. And the process was actually really, really fun because I was making it for somebody. I'm not one to, you know, be in the kitchen. I'm not a cook. I'm not a baker. I don't do anything in the kitchen. I wasn't allowed growing up in my grandma's house. So this was an interesting process, but it was really, really fun. This part took forever. It was like 4 minutes. I had to sit there for 4 minutes and beating the batter. I got really bored at this part, but I was like, I don't want to mess anything up. I was following what my grandma always told me. She said cooking is really easy as long as you just follow the recipe. You're good. Like, you're fine. Just follow the recipe and you'll be good. So that's what I was doing. It said 4 minutes, so I did it for 4 minutes. Um, but yeah, so I was really, really excited about this whole process. I was really happy to do this, even though it was really, really messy along the way. And if you know me, I cannot stand my hands to be messy. I cannot stand it. My hands are washed like 24/7. Oh, but the frosting. We had no frosting, so I had to find a recipe online. And the recipe I had found called for 2 sticks of butter. Well, we didn't have that, and so I had to find a different recipe. And I was able to finally make some. Thankfully, my grandma had some of this powdered sugar because all the recipes I saw called for it, and I was like, oh my god, please let there be some. And she did have some. She did a lot of baking when she was here. She was always baking cakes for us and desserts and whatnot. Like, it's just a family tradition for us to just have a homemade, I mean, not technically homemade, it's more like out of a box, but I mean, you know, it's made with love at least. It's made with love. And so that's just our little tradition. We just make a little cake, we decorate it, and that's just what we do. And so I was like, you know what, mom needs a cake, we're making one. And here we are. And the icing, we usually get like honestly, I don't even know, but we get it out of a can. And this icing tasted so good. It was amazing. I could not stop eating it. And I'm usually not the biggest icing fan, but this one was so good. And when I first started, like, doing it, it was like all crumply and like balled up and weird. And I was like, this doesn't look right. Like, this isn't looking like icing. And I finally, when I got to the, what's that called? The heavy whipping cream, which it called for milk, but we don't have any milk because we don't normally, like, we don't use milk much. We use it, we get like a little tiny little container because we like cook with it sometimes, but like we don't drink it, so it just goes to waste. But we had some of this from some dinner before, so I was like, thankfully we have this, so I started adding that. And it called for like 2 tablespoons. I definitely used way more than that. But we were finally getting the icing consistency, and I was like, yep, here we go. Here's the icing. And her favorite color is pink, so I made sure it was a pink cake. And I thought it'd be really pretty to do the pink as the base, and then like white letters. We usually do some kind of like chocolatey frosting, and then the letters we pick as our favorite color. But I decided, you know, I wanted it to be a little different. I wanted a pink cake. I wanted pink to be the main color of the cake because it's her favorite color. And then pretty little white little letters and whatnot. I was so proud. Y'all, look at that icing. I did that. I can't believe I did that. And then I realized, oh, well, I need more icing because I have to get the letters. And so thankfully we had just enough butter left to make a second serving of it. And I added no food coloring to this one to make sure that it was you know, that nice pretty, it was almost like an off-white color, but it still looked really, really pretty with the tone of the pink, and it just turned out so, so good. You were supposed to like gradually put the, not flour, the powdered sugar in, but I eventually just dumped the whole cup in, because I was like, yeah, this is taking forever, let's just get this going. But it turned out so, so good. I'm so proud of myself, because I don't normally do this kind of stuff. But it looked good, it tasted good. I didn't taste the cake per se, because I'm not the biggest on sweets. I like lemon sweets. I like some strawberry sweets, some raspberry sweets, but I'm really not the biggest on desserts, especially not chocolate. I'm just not the biggest sweets person. I'll have some chocolates, like there's some chocolates I do like. There's this like vegan Reese's. Look at that icing. Oh, y'all, I did that. I did that. I cannot. But yeah, I'm just not the biggest on sweets, so I didn't eat the cake, but everyone said it was really good, and they were really proud of me. Look at that cake! You can see how many times I tried to test, little toothpick test, to make sure it was done. I put it on for 25 minutes. That was not long enough. I didn't really set, like, a time. Also, I'll talk about that little crisscross in a second. But I didn't really set the time for afterwards. I was just like, I'll just check on it in, like, a little bit. Let me finish this, and then I'll check on it. Okay, it's still not done, so let me finish this, and then I'll check on it. Eventually it got there, but there's so many holes on top. Now for the crisscross, that's from when it was cooling off. I know you're supposed to like cut that part off and level it. It was not coming off, okay? I found this tool that my grandma had that was like, she never used it. It was like brand new, so I opened it. That did not work. I tried using a knife. It did not cut off, so I was like, you know what? Whatever. They're just gonna have extra cake. And this part, honestly, I hated this part. The icing kept moving around, and I had to keep reapplying to different spots, and it just got really, really annoying. But we got there in the end. Like, I was so ready to give up. But it looks really, really good. I'm so proud of myself. Honestly, it was such a pretty color, too. I think I put, like, 4 drops of some kind of pink that my grandma had. This part was getting really, really annoying, though. See, it kept coming off, and I was like, bro, what the heck? Like, why is it doing that? Also, when it comes to the icing, you know, the little piping bag, well, you would think as all the years, I mean, we'll get to that part in a second, let's go and talk about it. You think of all the years of watching my mom and my aunt and my grandma, because I always loved watching them decorate the birthday cakes. It was just so fun to me. And I would always like help them stir in the icing, like the food coloring and icing and stuff. Well, you would think I would know how to put the piping together. I did not. So I had the icing in first, and if you're a baker, you probably know this. You're supposed to put the little piece in, like cut it, put the piece in, put the icing in, and then you have like the little silver part, and then the part that goes over it. Well, some of that is supposed to go inside the bag, and so all of it was just outside the bag. So I was having to hold on to the tip while doing all this, and it made it so hard, but we got there. Look how pretty those letters are you kidding? I was so proud of myself for that. But yeah, my hands were cramping from the way I was having to hold this bag because I did not do it correctly. My mom figured because she was putting some of the icing in her mouth and the tip fell in. And I was like, yeah, I didn't know how to attach that, like, it didn't stay on, and she just busted out laughing, so she told me how to do it, and we got it fixed up. Yeah, this part was so, so messy, because there was so much icing. Some of the icing even fell on my sweatpants. It just, bro, it was everywhere. Yeah, it looks so good. Putting on the final touches, I am so, so proud of this cake, and how it turned out, and tears were shed. Tears were shed, but I was so proud of myself. And it was a good day.
I allowed to come in?
Yeah, you better.
I'm still working on it. Come in. I get a cake.
And
Get a
I
cake.
get the icing.
Wow.
Oh,
It's so pretty.
that was a surprise.
That'll be a good time to go listen to the voicemail that Jennifer sent me. I guess something Mama had sent to somebody for their birthday.
I'm gonna go
You may have
Walmart.
some
It's
pink.
so pretty.
You may have some pink
It's
icing in
pink.
your hair.
I got pink icing in my hair.
Maybe, I don't know.
Thank you.
Because I had to buy, I was like, ooh, I need to make Mom a cake. So I went in there, I was like, please let there be a cake. That's not expired. There was one. I was like, okay, so do we have icing? I was like, no. I was like, well. I made some.
You made some.
I made some.
Aww.
Okay, so the cake is done. I am trying to like not drop it because tears were shed and tears will be shedding for me if I drop this. But are you kidding? Wow, I did that. I did that. I don't bake. I don't do anything that's in the kitchen. Growing up, I was not allowed in the kitchen. It was my grandma's rule. I lived in my grandma's house most of my life, and when I was in the kitchen, you know, I kind of learned to make a couple things. Like my mom, when it was just me and my mom living together, you know, she would let me in the kitchen. At a grandma, there was no kids in the kitchen, so I was not allowed anything. So I'm not like, I mean, I'm learning. We're getting there. The cake was box mix, I will say that, but the icing was homemade because we didn't have any. So when I went in there to, because earlier I was like, ooh, I need to make mom a cake for her birthday because we don't have one. So I went in the pantry and I was like, oh my god, please, 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 please let there be some kind of cake mix that's not expired, because there's some expired stuff in there, I'm not gonna lie. And so there was one, literally one box of cake mix. So I was like, okay, slay, perfect, that's all I need. That's all I need. And so I was like, okay, well, do I have icing? No, we did not. I looked in that cabinet over there, I looked in the cabinet over there, I looked in there, like I looked everywhere in the kitchen. There was no icing to be found. It got all thrown away when we decluttered the pantry on mom's channel. So I mean, there's no more expired stuff in there anymore, but yeah, all the icing got thrown away. I didn't even check the fridge, but it's probably expired, to be honest. And this honestly tastes really, really good. I'll put I showed you the recipe, but I can link it down below as well. It was like really good. And I don't say that about really, really sweet stuff. I'm more of like a mild, semi-sweet kind of girl. I don't like super, super sweet sugary things. This is really good though. That was a really good icing. So, and it doesn't taste like it's out of a can, which it's not. It was homemade. It was really, really easy. And that's coming from me. Okay, there was a moment when I was like, this is not this is not working out, but we got there. But yeah, I'm really, really proud of myself. This looks so good. She's a baker now. She's in her baker era and out of it very quickly. I'm not a baker. It was really fun though, because I don't normally I don't bake at all. But it was really fun because it was for somebody instead of like just for myself. It was more fun. I got to make it for somebody, and I'm one that hates my hands being disgusting, messy, sticky, whatever. And they were definitely messy, disgusting, sticky, but it was okay because it was for somebody and I didn't mind it. Just a little bit, but I didn't mind it too bad. But yeah, now we have a beautiful cake and a lot of icing left over, and it's always tradition in our family with this icing and the whatever this is called, the piping. Family day birthday cakes, everybody got a little shot of this in their mouth. So as tradition, I will take my little shot of icing, and I will see you in the next video. Bye y'all. Yep. Oh, I got a mess.